Everybody. So this is the video on the day-to-day just operations of the budget. So this is going to be the video directly after the setup. So we're just building off of that. So we still have all those accounts and that list that we set up in the last video, and now we're just going to go through what you're going to do day to day. And this won't take too long because basically all you're going to do is click that little expense button and type in your expenses. So once we have our account set up, then every time, the way I've always done it is just I keep all my receipts until I punch them in, and then I throw them out except for the ones I might need for taxes, etc. So I just keep all the receipts in my wallet until I've actually entered them into the budget. I also anything I buy online where you get the email notification, I just flag that until I put in the budget. So everything's just kind of waiting there nagging at me until I put them in. So once you're ready to add them all, once that wallet's too fat or you've got too many flagged emails to know what to do with, you just come to this expense and you're just going to go through and add them all. And so if you're just adding, say, if you do this pretty regularly, then most of them will be in the same month, so it'll just stay on that March, and we'll just do say March 10th, and we'll say this one was for housing, and $60 of expense. This one will say March 11th was the next one. We'll call this one I bought some medicine, $40. Then March 15th, say paid my power, and I already paid power, so we'll say travel. I went somewhere, so spent $60 on that, and you're just going to go through that every time. Once you enter them in, they'll all pop over here. As I mentioned that initial first video, any category that you've gone over in that month is just going to highlight pink and red here. And so if we look at the March amount, this is also our monthly remaining. Make it so everybody can see. This is the monthly amount remaining. So since I've got April selected right now, so it's showing how much I have left in each category for April. As you can see, clothes we've gone over, so it's telling you it's overspent by 10. Restaurants, we were perfect, so just can't go out to eat anymore this month. If we go to March and refresh it, it'll tell us that travel we went over. If travel is something that we're going to do just periodically and we don't want to have it notify us every month we go over because we're expecting maybe $0 of travel expense April through June, you just select this little variable option, click yes, and it won't nag us about that. As long as our average stays below, then we'll be fine there. Another thing that you can do when you're adding on the day-to-day operations, if you decide that you've put in an expense that you didn't mean to, or you've double entered something, if you need to delete anything, just select any part of those expenses, and you're just going to click that delete selected rows. I've mentioned it before, but this is just going to timestamp on that backup sheet and bring all those over. If you do need to restore them for some reason or any part of them, like if you didn't mean to delete this close one, just click that restore button and it'll bring it back over. So that's going to be that. The sort is going to sort it by date, so this is going to be useful for any sort of bank reconciliations or anything like that. If you just want to, if you have your April bank statement, you can just sort it and then just go down the list and compare. Descriptions are going to be just the optional field that you can put in at any point. So say we had an other, usually you're going to want to have some sort of description just to explain what it is, and say I had to, I don't know, birthday present or something. So you can see that's just going to show up over here. Same sort of thing for charity or anything that's going to be tax deductible. I always recommend putting down just the check number or some details on that in case there's you get audited or anything. You've got supporting information. So that's going to be that. And then again, the budget, if you entered them in on there, you may have to click the refresh and everything will pull over. Once you've got a whole bunch of taxable items, and I'm just going to cheat a little bit here and copy these all down. You'll never really want to do this because you don't really want to have the same entry pulling over and over. But basically what I'm going to do now is just create this tax report. So once you've got a whole bunch of taxable items, all you have to do is click this button and it's going to date it and pull all the taxable items over, make it ready to print. So now as you can see, we've got this tax report dated April 3rd, 2014. It'll have each of these numbers here, each check, and this will help us a lot when we're doing our tax report. We just print it off, and wherever we're going, if we have an account or anything, we can just bring this to him or her, and that'll just be all the supporting information from the budget side that we need. Again, the backup sheet, went over that. The chart is going to update with, you can see I just added a whole bunch of charity expenses, so that's going to be the main portion, but really it'll be much more evenly distributed. So if I just go through and say delete all of these, now if we go back to that chart, it should look much more evenly. So that's the chart that'll show. Again, if at any point you need to change any categories, you can always do that, or if you need to add any accounts, you can always do that as well, just the same way we did in that startup video. You can also change any options. So if you have, say, the variable row shown right now because you wanted to turn that insurance or whatever it was to not highlight the travel, to not highlight when you went over budget. You can hide the row and it still won't turn off the travel. So as you can see, we're still over the budgeted amount here, but it's not highlighting because it doesn't remove the settings. It just hides the row. But that's going to be basically the day-to-day operations. I don't think there's anything I missed on that. So if you do have any questions, of course, email me and let me know if there's anything I can do. Have a good day.